my dreams, I'm called Mirren, and I have a brother called Uran, who was once the great ruler of Atlantis. I was a child when Atlantis was first created, and I moved to that new city with my family, my parents and my brother. I was educated at the various universities that Uran, my brother, had set up, and I lived in this idyllic civilization through the reign of my brother and into the reign of Bela of Kron. I remained in Atlantis for a long time, even though it entered a period of decline once Bela had taken over. But it reached a point that so offended me, I really just had to leave. I didn't go to live in the same place as Uran because I felt that where he went was a bit too extreme. Well, it's a bit difficult to explain, but he went somewhere where it was really hard to find him. Anyway, but instead, I moved to one of the places that had been part of Atlantis at one time. I moved to Neath, and I chose to make it my home. Neath was originally one of the university towns of Tantal, that is, Atlantis. It was part of the agricultural university. Neath was also one of the locations that broke away from Atlantis when Uran was overthrown and Bela took over. Neath had become a rather successful offshoot of Atlantis, and it is where many of the followers of Uran migrated to after he left. Bela came to be suspicious of the place. He thought Uran was in Neath, but that was not true. There was no way he could ever have found Uran. I was in control of a tomato factory. I know this sounds very weird, but it's the dream. And I call it a factory for lack of a better term, but essentially it was a high-rise building made of large white stone blocks, set in beautiful surroundings, and on all the various levels were different types of tomatoes being grown. In this job, all I needed to do was go there every day and check that everything was working correctly. It was pretty much all automated. It didn't take long, and the rest of my day was filled with things that interested me. I remember feeling frustrated, however, that I could not return to Atlantis because I did not agree with what was happening there. After Neath, I moved to a place called Kem. I helped the people of Kem with many things, but it is there that I actually died. I was ridiculously old at the time, but only in years. I still looked very young, and I had had a most wonderful life. When I saw a picture of an Egyptian woman's face on a coffin, I knew that it was actually me. It was just a feeling. It was such a strong feeling, because in other dreams I'd actually seen myself in the mirror, and I looked very similar to the way I do now, but I didn't look exactly the same as I did. But I did look very similar to the way I did when I was younger. Anyway, my death was very sudden. A cart hit me from behind, or at least I think it was a cart. It instantly broke my back and killed me. To this day, I am terrified of having traffic behind me. Anyway, it took me a long time to realize why, but even the dream about my death was not really unpleasant, as I had had a great morning. I was happily on my way home when the accident happened. It was instant and painless, and everything just went dark. So that was the end of that dream. And that was a summary of me, of who I am in my dreams.